Hello fellow board gamers! Today I would like to deviate a little bit from modern board gaming to talk about traditional card games, specifically an Italian card game I love and that I've played a lot while growing up, called Briscola, a trick-taking game for 2 to 4 players. Let's start with the deck. In Italy we have our own specific deck of cards, of course. And as per Italian food, each region has their own variation. And obviously the one that your mom makes is always the best. You have Trevigiane cards, Napoletane cards, Romagnole and Piacentine. And Siciliane, Pugliesi, Bergamasche, Bolognesi. Okay, don't worry, we can put them in 2 main categories. Trevigiane, mostly used in the north of Italy, and Napoletane, mostly used in the south of Italy. The differences between the two are only aesthetic and they don't affect gameplay. And I will be using the Trevigiane deck throughout this video. Bresciane, Genovesi, Milanesi, Piemontesi. A deck includes 40 cards divided into 4 suits and a range of fascinating facial hairstyles. Plus, like any good HBO series, some gratuitous nudity. Each suit ranges from 1 to 10, missing 8, 9 and 10 from a normal poker deck. And the 4 suits are spade, or swords, bastoni, or buttons or wands, coppe, cups, and denari, coins. Oh, wait a second, what time is it? It's 4 o'clock, it's time for Spire Tabletop Gaming History Corner! Spire Tabletop Gaming History Corner! Welcome to Spire Tabletop Gaming History Corner, episode 89. Today we'll talk about playing cards. It is thought that playing cards originated in China around the 10th century, and one theory is that their popularity then spread to Europe thanks to the Mamluk Empire, which ruled what is now modern Egypt for 300 years until the 15th century. Then the French redesigned the cards using simpler pictures to cut production costs. And this is when the common hearts, clubs, diamonds and spades came into play. Spain, Italy and Germany kept roughly the original 4 suits, which represented different social classes. Denari, or coins, for merchants. Coppe, or cups, for clerics. Bastoni, clubs or batons, for farmers, but originally these were polo sticks, which was unknown in Europe. And spade, or swords, for warriors. Right, where were we? The deck. In Briscola you have 120 points in the deck, and in order of ranking and value the cards are Ace, most powerful card, and it provides you with 11 points. 3, second most powerful card, provides you 10 points. King, 4 points. Horse or knight, 3 points. Knave, 2 points. And all the rest, they rank by their face value, but they provide you no point, nil point, nulla, nada, niente. In a 4-player game, you will have 2 players per team, with each team member across from each other. In a 2 or 3-player game is all against all, but notice that for a 3-player game you will need to remove a card, and we usually remove the naked one, the 2 of spade. But now for a 4-player game what you do is you shuffle the deck and you distribute 3 cards to each player, and then reveal what will be the trump suit for the game, placing it face up, half covered under the drawing stack. You are now ready to play Briscola, so grab some good Italian wine. Oh, grazie.
Prego.
And get ready to get passionate. Carica, carica! Taglia, taglia! Punti, punti, punti! And look like you're having a nervous breakdown. The rules are pretty simple. In turn, each player will play one card. But notice that, unlike a lot of other trick-taking games, you do not have to follow suit. You can play whatever suit you want. So say, for example, the first player plays the two of swords, or two of spade. Now, if the other players want to win this trick, they've got two options. They either play a higher ranking sword card, or they play a Briscola card, so coins. Say that the second player actually decides to play safe. They don't want to win this trick, so they just play 7 of buttons. Again, at this point, the first player is still winning the trick. Now, the third player, which is in the same team as the first player, can decide to give the first player some points because he's still winning the trick. But unfortunately, they do not have any points, so they play safe as well. And they play the 5 of buttons. Still, first player, still winning this trick. Now, the fourth player can decide to win the trick, but there is no much point in doing that because there are no points on the table at the moment, unless they do have really high ranking sword cards, for example the 3 or the ace, because if they play one of those they will win the trick and also bank 10 or 11 points for their team. But say that they don't want to win this trick, they just want to play safe, so they play the 7th of cups. Now, the trick has been won by the first player because nobody outranked the 2 of swords and nobody played the Briscola, which is coins. So they will pick up the cards and put them aside. Now, starting from the player that won the last trick, each player will draw a card. And play continues from whoever won the last trick. So, in this case, this player.
Sarde, Ticinesi, Toscane, Trentine and Triestine.
Let's say the first player starts with the horse of buttons. Now the second player, as we said, if they want to win this trick, is higher rank of buttons or coins. So he's gonna go with the 3 of buttons. So now the second player is winning this trick because remember that 3 is of higher rank than the horse. Now the third player, because there are now 13 points on the table, will try and win this trick. And the only way to win this trick is either playing the ace of buttons, because he's gonna outrank both of these cards, or playing Briscola. And they decide to play safe with Briscola. They play the king of coins. So now the third player is winning this trick. At this point, the fourth player can only win this trick by outranking the king of coins with the 3 of coins or the ace of coins. And luckily enough, they do have the ace of coins, so they play that and they win this trick, banking what is 21, 25, 28 points for their team. Play continues until all the cards have been played, meaning that for the last 3 rounds players will play a card but will not draw a card because there is no more drawing deck. Plus, on the fourth last round, one of the players will pick up the Briscola card. For example, say that the last trick was won by this player, so now they need to start a new round. They will all draw a card starting from the player that won the last trick. And you can see that the fourth player will pick up the Briscola card and put it in their hand. At the end of the game, each team will add up their points, and the team that made the most points wins. Right, so now you know the rules of Briscola. But if you want to step it up a bit and you want to show off your knowledge of Briscola, you must learn 3 words. The first one is carica, which means to load it. You usually shout out carica to your teammate if you are already winning the trick and you're pretty sure you're gonna win the trick, and you're asking them to give you a lot of points. Usually you're asking them to play a 3 or an ace, not of Briscola of course, because as I said, you're already winning the trick. The second word is taglia, which means to cut. At that point you're asking your teammate to play a low-ranking Briscola, maybe for 2 reasons. The first one would be to disrupt the other team's strategy. And the second one would be because you've got a lot of points and you're ready to load it, and so you want your teammates to win the trick. The third word is strozza, which means to strangle. And that is when you win a trick, or you're asking your teammate to win a trick by using a really high-ranking card that is not of Briscola. There are also some additional rules, some of which are more house rules. The first one is that when the deck is depleted, each team member can see each other's cards. The second one is that you cannot communicate with your team member on the first round of the game. And the third one is that ace, 3 and king cannot be the game trump suit, cannot be on the table as the Briscola. Even though you cannot communicate on the first round, you can communicate with your teammate throughout the rest of the game. But how do you communicate without giving away too much information to the other players, to the other team? Well, in Briscola there are a set of signs that are used to tell your teammate what you've got in your hand. And the signs are: you have the king of Briscola, you do this. If you have the ace of Briscola, you do this. If you have the 3 of Briscola, you do this. If you have the horse of Briscola, you do this. If you have the knave of Briscola, you do this. And if you have a lot of points to give your teammate, you do this. Why do I think that Briscola is so good? Well, first of all, it's simple. It's a really simple game, given that you get used to the weird card ranking. Second, because it's quick. A game lasts about 15 or 20 minutes. Third, because it's strategic, and I love simple games with a lot of strategy in them. And fourth, because it's cheap. An Italian deck, costs around £5, but you can also play with a poker deck by removing the 8, 9 and 10s and the jokers. So why not introducing some Italian flavors in your board gaming group by playing Briscola? You're still here. So the next step is to subscribe to the channel and to get more of these beautiful videos with this really thick Italian accent. Come on, you want to do it. Come on, subscribe. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.